Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. This episode was interesting because there was things that I really loved. There was things that I was kind of just like I didn't really care about. Um, it's kind of a mix. But I'm gonna get to my favorite part of this episode, and I think at this point you already know what it is. Yep, Peter. So Peter comes back into town now, and Nina's all surprised, like, "Oh, what's going on?" And Peter's like, "Oh, you look like you've seen a ghost." And then Peter's like, "What? Oh, you thought your unhinged aunt was gonna take me out?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got eyes and ears everywhere. I took care of that. I'm just not there, just looking at this whole thing, like, "Oh, you counted on somebody else to sit there and take him out." This is what happened. This is what happens. But you know what? To be fair, Nina is not exactly the brightest person. You know, she's not exactly the brightest person. So having Peter outsmart her isn't really a challenge. It's really not. But he's like, "Yeah, I took care of your aunt. I got her, tucked away somewhere. But the question is, what am I gonna sit there and do with you?" So he's being all threatening and everything like that, and Nina's all like, "Oh, I'm sorry, whatever." And she gets on the phone with Valentine to try to ask, what's going on with the search and everything. And after Valentine's like, "Listen, we, pretty much kind of came up with a dead end." This is when Nina starts trying to, put like clues in there, in the message like, "Oh, I know how you love, living at the Metro Court, with food, room service and stuff like that." And then she says something else as far as like their first with a song that Valentine sung to her. So she gets off the phone, and Peter's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Because right then and there he was like, "Are you using it to try to warn him, right? You think this is a game, pretty much." Um, so he's being all threatening and menacing, and just being a great villain. Now, Phyllis walks in there, and Peter and Nina start talking about some sort of like book deal or whatever, and just some sort of BS story. So Phyllis decides to walk behind the bar because she's all like, "Oh, Sonny forgot, Mike forgot his phone, so I'm just gonna sit there and give it to him, and then just head on out for the night." So she goes behind the bar, and she's taking her sweet time at this, and we all know that she's going to go grab the gun, but she's just taking forever at this point. And the minute that she reaches up, Peter's already there, got the gun pointed at Nina. So now we're playing a game of chicken. It's all fun and games, but we both know that, well, Peter is he's willing to sit there and shoot her. He doesn't care if he gets shot. And Phyllis does care. So they go on for like a few minutes, but I mean at this point we already know who's going to sit and lose at that game. So she puts down the gun, and now they're both sitting there across each other, and he's pretty much threatening to kill, well, pretty much both of them. Um, and that's pretty much where we leave off at. Now, I think that was Phyllis. That must have been Phyllis that was there looking in the bar at that point in time. But I'm sitting there wondering, what is Sonny gonna do? Because we saw in the previews that he's sitting there talking to Jax, and I'm just sitting there thinking, Peter, why don't you just kill these people at this point? Just take both of them out. Like, what are you waiting for? Why are you sitting there playing with your dinner at this point? Just take them both out and just be done with them. No, you guys sit there and play this whole playing with his food and all this other crap. Like, just, but of course, I won't be able to get what I want as far. Well, I mean, I mean, let's be honest. If Peter did shoot Nina, one, it wouldn't be a cake party, and two, no, Nina deserves all the smoke that she's getting when everyone finds out what Nina did. And I'd much rather that than her be some sort of martyr or, oh, she's dead, so, we can't really go. No, I want her to face everything that she's getting. And honestly, to tell you the truth, more or less, that was pretty much kind of the best part, because everything, more or less, kind of goes downhill. Jordan gets to the hospital, finds out that she's having kidney failure, and that she's going to be going to Albany to get treatment done. So, she'll be gone for a couple weeks. It's just like tearful goodbye, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't care. I didn't care. Jordan isn't exactly my favorite character. I mean, I don't dislike her, but I'm also just like, alright, whatever, bye. It turns out that Jordan didn't know what Portia was there saying. As far as, like, Portia keeping a secret about her dad or whatever. Like, she didn't really get what that meant. So, her secret's safe for now. And yeah, she just pretty much says goodbye to everyone, and that's pretty much about it. So, alright. Molly was there to offer support, and Sean was there because, well, at this point, why not? Maxie and Brooklyn, I'm gonna be honest, I mean, at this point, all Brooklyn was sitting there talking about was Austin sitting there trying to take a piece of the pie and the Quartermains and the money and stuff like that. After a while, I was like, I just don't care. Like, honestly, tell you the truth, she just came off kind of greedy as hell. Like, oh, he's sitting there trying to take a piece of our pie. Like, relax, sweetheart. Like, seriously, sometimes some of the stuff that she says is just like, what? Like, when she was sitting there asking for a raise at Deception, I'm like, you're rich. Why the hell are you sitting there asking them for more money when you literally are a trust fund baby? How does that work? I don't get that, but whatever. And all it really was, Brooklyn that they're trying to convince Maxie to, ask Austin out so this way she can sit there and spy on him. And eventually he accepts, and that's pretty much about it. Trina and Jocelyn talk about Spencer and Esmer, and Trina feels all guilty for lying to Jocelyn. Like, honestly, tell you the truth, I didn't really care about that. The only thing that actually was somewhat of importance, is the fact that Trina told Jocelyn about the fact that, when she was there talking about Victor, it was Spencer pretending to be Victor the whole time, so this way, he wouldn't alert his father's presence or whatever. So pretty much, Trina was just like, she felt bad for covering for Spencer for a while. That was pretty much about it. Didn't really go anywhere else. Nope. And they talk about Spencer and, she liked him and now she's not sure. And to be honest, I don't really care. I just really don't care. And it was funny, too, because I was talking to DC Soap Sanctuary yesterday. We were sitting there doing a video, the collab video. And, we were talking about, like, old storylines and stuff like that. And I just remember when I first started watching the show that I gave no F's about, like, the kids' storyline, the Georgie and Dylan and Maxie and Lucas. Like, I just did not care at all. The only time I actually started to care is when they brought in Diego, because Diego was Alcazar's son. That was the only reason why I actually cared about that storyline. Like, I didn't care about that storyline, and to be honest, I don't really care that much about, like, Trina and Jocelyn and Spencer, and that's, like, I just, and I feel like I'm missing someone, No, they pretty much kind of got killed off. Yeah, never mind. Now in the beginning, Spencer was pretty much acting like a dick to Nicholas. Esmir was there. And, they were going back and forth at each other, sniping or whatever. Well, pretty much Spencer's that they're going at Nicholas. The Valentine walks in. And the attention shifts, and they turn all their attention, all their hate and focus on Valentine. So, they're pretty much kind of going at Valentine. And then Anna walks in, and I'm not going to lie, here's the thing. Anna walks in, and she's all like, hey, listen, that's enough. And I'm like, sweetheart, he came to my table. Yeah, I was like, I get that, she's his friend and whatever, and she wants to sit there and defend him, but I'm like, sweetheart, he came over here. Okay, that means I'm entitled to say and do whatever I choose. You don't like it, take you and him and walk your ass somewhere else. And she was all like, oh, well, we're all not the people we used to be and stuff like that. I'm like, Anna, just take him and get the hell out of here. Because honestly, tell you the truth, they don't want him at this table. And, when he left, Anna was like, well, what was you even doing over there? Which is really curious. Why was he actually even over there for? So they had a nice little bonding experience, going at Valentine and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, even before then, I didn't really care. Whenever that chick calls him Spence, it's just like, it's so pretentious. Like, yeah, me and Spence did this, me and Spence did that. I'm like, is it that hard to actually say his whole name? I know that, the generation is like, alright, cool, we gotta sit there and shorten everything. I'm like, damn, Spencer, it ain't hard. You gotta sit there and literally shorten that? I can't with that girl. Every time that she just talks, it just comes across as pretentious and annoying. Like, and of course, Spencer's too much of an idiot to sit there and realize that, she's not really into him. Like, even after, and it's funny, well, even after, Nicholas left, because, Nicholas told Spencer about Ava's goons, beating him up and stuff like that, afterwards, Esme was like, oh, you're so fired up and rage and stuff like that. It's like, oh, it's so hot, and it was like, oh my god, would this woman shut up? Like, when she talks, it's so, I can't do it. Ava comes to the house to talk to Carly about leaving Avery with Carly for a while, because she's going to be off, getting away from the stalker and stuff like that. Told Carly about everything that happened as far as the fire, the stalker burning Ava's car, the name badge of Kiki. So at this point, she's like, yeah, I got to get out of Dodge. And she's pretty much going to trust Carly to watch her daughter, which is odd to some extent. It is, like, here's the thing, I get that, the stalker is dangerous and stuff like that. She doesn't want Avery to be collateral damage and stuff like that, but it's not like she doesn't. She has the same amount of money and can hire people to sit there and protect them both while they're on the run. I don't feel like there's a huge reason. I feel like it's a stretch to sit there and be like, hey, Carly, I'm going to leave you with my child for X amount of time, where it's like there's so many different other options that Ava can sit there and take. But for whatever odd reason, because of the plot, this is where we're going. So, yeah. I guess it was kind of nice to sit there and watch them. I mean, as much as they don't like each other, Carly doesn't like Ava. They can sit there and put aside their differences to protect Avery. Now, I've talked before about Carly and her hatred towards Ava and Morgan and the pills and stuff like that. And, my position still stands on that. I get that Ava was was responsible for Morgan's spiral as far as his being all manic and stuff like that. I get that, but I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I mean, him stealing the car and all the other stuff like that he was doing, it's like, I don't know. I don't feel like getting into it again, but I feel like you can't put all of that, the whole death on Ava. You can't put it all on Ava. I mean, yeah, she's the catalyst. She's the reason why he's dead. I don't know. I feel like there's more to it than just the simple fact that she took pills and stuff like that. It's like he stole a car. He literally punched TJ in the face to steal his car. And the fact of the matter was, when he got in that car, the car blew up because of, Julian's crazy other sister. That had nothing to do with Ava. But, whatever. Now, towards the end of the episode, Valentine kind of noticed that, Nina was kind of off, even when she was talking. And she realized a lot of the clues, he realized a lot of the clues that, she left him was like a sign for help. So, at this point, towards the end of the episode, you see Valentine get ready to go to Nixon Falls with Anna. I really can't think of anything else to happen. I think that's about it. I feel like I probably missed a couple of things, but for the most part, like Sean and Molly being there was like, alright, that's cool, they're there for support, but it's like they could have just not been there and it would have been exactly the same thing. Yeah, I think that's about it. If I missed anything, please write it down in the comment section below. And like I said earlier, so yeah, me and DC Soap Sanctuary did our collab yesterday. So he's going to be sitting there editing the video. We're going to both sit there and take a look at it. And then we will put it out on our channels. So definitely look forward to that coming out soon, because I'm going to sit there and watch it, because it's like, it was fun. It was good. I had a lot of fun sitting there doing it. And yeah, it was a good video. So yeah, that's going to be coming out soon. And with that being said, yeah, I think that's about it. If I missed anything, please write it down in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching. Be safe. I will see you in the next video.